He's Stonebraker and he does stuff, yeah. Feel the hum of the wheels out there. Not perfect, but he dares to dream. Hit that subscribe, make that bell scream.
What's up, YouTube? Stonebraker does stuff. It is 2:44 p.m. on a fantastic weather Thursday, May 8th, 2025, right there. And I have decided today that I want to do a range test. So I had plans today, and actually, before we get started, if you saw a video uploaded this morning from a night ride I did last night, yeah, that's been deleted. I didn't like the way it turned out. When you live in a small town and there's not a whole lot of lighting and a lot of buildings and stuff to light up the way, it's not very exciting to watch. So I posted it. If you're one of the, let's get away from this tractor first. If you're one of the 15 people I think that saw that video before I took it down after the first couple hours, thanks for watching, but it had to go bye-bye. So the goal today was, I had a day off of work. I had planned on using today to take the mock wheel to the bike shop that I always take my bikes to, because I wanted to get the derailleur looked at and everything just to make sure. Simple adjustment, I'm sure, is all it needed. But I called the bike shop just to make sure they were going to be there, so there wasn't any huge surprises or anything. And the guy that works on bikes is sick, so they think he might be back Saturday. So I think Saturday we may take another chance and go ahead and see if we can get the bike there, but it is very windy right here. In fact, it's so windy that I'm going into the wind, and as I said, I wanted to do a range test today on the HeyBike Ranger S, but we're going to start it this way, because the wind, riding into the wind like that, I don't know if that would be the best representation of the range on this. So this bike has just under a 15-hour battery. Per their website, it says you should be able to go 55 miles on one charge. I have an absolutely fully charged battery. I've got my trip, you know what I mean? I got the trip meter, tripometer, reset to 0. I've got my Strava pulled up, telling me how long we've gone. So we're gonna see today. This may have to span out over a couple days. Not entirely for sure how we're gonna do this, but it'll be nice to see like what the real world average is on this bike. And instead of just riding it through town, probably 30 miles, and maybe going out on our trail a couple times, I think this will be a good time to kind of maybe take this out in the country a little bit, do a little bit of a country ride. I thought about riding out to the covered bridge that I rode out to about a year ago. I think it's about 6 miles from my house, but we're just gonna see where it takes us. I do know when we get up here, I'm not gonna ride in the wind. This is much easier, and it's just gonna kill the battery, and I won't get a real live test on the range of this bike. But when we get up here, we'll take a left and kind of head out of town. Hopefully we don't get hit by a big semi or a big green tractor. If I do get hit by a big green tractor, I assure you that I'm gonna do my best to get a thumbnail like 2 seconds before it collides in me. So we're gonna get that real good action shot, attract those viewers. So definitely, for sure. I've already cleaned my car today. I rode the mock wheel a little bit earlier today too. So, I've been on my bike. I've been a little productive today. I haven't just kind of wasted the day not doing anything. And I made sure on this trip, I did bring some extra GoPro batteries, because I do not think one battery would probably last, 30-ish miles. I'm going to assume, because I do have it, and this is a torque sensor bike, So right now I do have it set on pedal assist 5, but as you can tell, I'm like not utilizing the full speed and the full pressure. I'm just kind of keeping it at a 15.5 to 16 mile per hour range. And right here, oh shit, that could have been really bad. I'm gonna try to do most of this ride without throttle, but if I do stay on this road right here, the further I get out of town, and of course I'm riding into the wind again, but the further I get out of town, I will have to bump it up. I can't go like 15, 16 miles an hour, but we'll see what happens when we get there. This is pretty much all country road from here. There's a little bit of hills. It's not just flat road. But I'm going to assume with this size battery, I think it's just under 15 amp hour, like 14.7 or 14.4. If it's stating that, see, like right now there's a car behind me. But if it's stating that you can get 55 miles, like realistically, I think we're probably looking at like maybe 35 best. I'm gonna let these guys pass me. Probably get honked at or something. Yeah, it's right on the gravel. And let's get back on the road now. Fantastic weather. It's in the high 60s. The clouds were out a little bit this morning in the early afternoon, but you know, now they're starting to go away. The sun's coming out a little bit. And we're back into the sun. It looks like we're back into the wind. So this may have a little more throttle than what I had planned on. Again, just based on the fact that riding literally wind in my face, and I don't want to get too many cars behind me. I did ride out here on a video. Actually, I did ride out here, but I don't think I recorded a video. When I got one of the original bikes, I was kind of curious on the range. So I did pretty much do a lot of the same route. Pretty much going to go to the same area basically. And I believe I got about 33 miles on another bike that was a 15 or a 16 amp hour, and I probably could have got a little more, but I didn't want to get stuck out in the middle of nowhere on my e-bike. Passing over Interstate 74 here. Indianapolis East. All right, now we're back on the smooth out paved road here. Probably see a lot of tractors and farmers and stuff like that. And a lot of dust blown into my face. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a country ride. So if you guys like, if you're in a bigger city or a pretty populated area and you don't get a lot of wide open space like this, this is your type of video. If you're like me and you see this stuff all the time, then it's probably is going to be boring to you. But there'll be parts, well, I will speed ahead. I'm not going to make you guys ride every single mile with me, as we're about 3.30 so far. So just hit about 5 miles. Still just out in the middle of nowhere here. I'm kind of curious though, because I have, this was the first time I reset the trip meter on the HeyBike. I didn't know how to do it. So I did have them both at 0, and it's kind of curious to see Strava says we're at 4.91, and the HeyBike says at 5.4. So it's a nice, pretty big difference when both of them kind of started at the same time. I'll have to see what they both finished, but I trust Strava. I've used it for pretty much since I started recording my rides and keeping track of it. I just got the free version. I had this subscription for a while. I think it's like a 6-month package or something, where maybe it's a year. But when I first got it, I had that and I forgot about it, and it expired, and there's really no need for me to have it because I pretty much only use it at this point just to see how long I've been riding. I might RIP myself here because there's a big truck behind me and 2 trucks up here. Hopefully the dude behind me slows down just a bit. Now, see, here's where we're gonna throttle, get up to 30. Don't wanna die. I love my e-bikes, but I'm not gonna die for them. Here he goes. Thank you. Thank you so much, CMP Trucking, for not running me over when you could have taken me out for sure. So since we're gonna have a lot of miles, I don't know how I'm gonna edit this. Obviously this video is gonna be longer than my typical. Jesus Christ. Oh, I just hit my knee. Oh my God, ouch. Oh shit. Oh, ow, okay, time out. Ouch. Oh, ow. Ouch. Oh. Okay, sorry about that, guys. The DJI mic fell, and when I went to turn around to pick it up, I got into gravel. When I stepped off the bike, I hit my knee into the pedal, the crank. Oh, and it's definitely gonna leave a bruise. Ouch. Oh, I'll be happy to take this left up here to get off this road where I don't have to worry about cars going 60 miles an hour. Oh man. Hopefully the mic is still on. It would be hilarious if it isn't. And actually, let me check that real quick. Yes, all right. Mic is still recording, thank God. All right, so we are back into the wind again. Man, I'm gonna be curious to see what the actual miles is, because it's definitely, going into wind like this cannot be a perfect grasp of the range on these bikes. I don't think these people have pigs. If they do, maybe they're up on that hill, but definitely smell the livestock. So definitely out in the middle of nowhere, but there is a spot up ahead a little bit. Actually, I guess it's quite a ways ahead, probably a couple miles still. There's a place called Tipton Rock, which is a place where, still is actually, it's like a popular swimming spot for all the local kids and stuff like that. And when the weather gets really warm, parents will take their kids out there. There's a rock that everybody jumps off of, and I think myself included, but it's probably been like 22 years since I've jumped off that rock. I'm always, now as an adult that I do it, like it never seems like the water is that deep. So I'm always kind of curious. I'm like, okay, so is this dangerous? Is this safe? But I always see pictures on Facebook, and there's a couple people that have made some YouTube videos where they've been swimming out there. It's pretty close to the cemetery where my dad's buried up here. So sometimes if I go to the cemetery, I'll stop by there and kind of take a look at it. You can see like, it's really beautiful out here. Looks like a couple new houses out here. It's be a cool little spot to live at, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but you know, you're 5 to 6 minutes outside of town. But up here on the left, there's absolutely nothing there now, but it used to be it was a school. It's called the Rab School, and it was a grade school. I don't know if it was like kindergarten through 8th grade. I'm thinking it was just like K through 5th grade. But I've always heard people like talk about memories of it and stuff like that, and I always thought it was just this old building and somebody lived in it. And I was always fascinated that somebody could live in this building that was falling apart. And I remember as a kid, it also served as a place where you could go and like take your deers, and you know, they would butcher and clean your deers and all that stuff. But it's completely gone here. And another nice little farm. I don't see any animals up front here. He must have them in the back. Pretty sure this guy has a lot of land south, and that's where he keeps most of his livestock at. But right here to your left, guys, I know it just looks like a grassy area, but this is where the Rab School used to be, and it just still blows my mind that there's nothing there anymore. You got a no trespassing sign. Just kind of like, you know, again, you're out in the country, but you're not like too far where you can't go get supplies and food and wild women, if you're into wild women that live in a big city. My big city of 2,600 people. All right, we are 10 miles into the ride, almost 11 according to the bike. Strava says just under 10. We are passing the Coal Creek. This is where the Tipton Rock I was telling you about is, to the right. All the way down there. Nice little spot to go out as a country kid back in the day. Again, beautiful blue skies. Perfect day for a range test on the HeyBike Ranger S 1000 watt e-bike. And we've talked about the Ranger. So I mentioned this in a video that I posted this morning that I deleted. So if you've been following my videos, I know there's a couple people that watch my videos, and I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate people that stay around and watch some of the videos. But I'm wanting to get another e-bike, and I had noticed a post on Facebook Marketplace like a week ago for 2 HeyBike Explorers. The HeyBike Explorers, they're kind of older. They're like 2 or 3 years old, but they're 26 by 4-inch tire e-bikes. And I'll put a picture of them right here, actually. So this is what they look like. And the people posting them had 2 of them for sale. And I had noticed originally it was like $600. So I thought, okay, maybe they want 600 a piece. That makes sense. So I messaged the guy, and he's like, nope. He says, we just bought the new HeyBike Horizons, and their bikes that they were posting for sale, they actually came with like racks and stuff and accessories. So I feel like if someone is going to spend that much money on accessories and be pretty honest and be like, nope, we just got new e-bikes, you know, I feel like they're probably well taken care of. There's probably not any issues. So I thought, okay, he lives in Indianapolis. That's about an hour and a half away from me. So I thought, let me think about it. And I had just gotten the e-bike rack, so I could have done it, but I really don't feel like driving in Indy. So I noticed they still had him for sale, and he dropped it down to 500, and he had also posted videos of him like riding and stuff, because I thought, okay, maybe something's wrong, but I don't know. So I thought, okay, let me ask him again. And I was pretty interested, and I was gonna probably say yes and, you know, figure out a time I can go pick him up. But by the time I made up my mind, he had sold him. So, but I swear, like Facebook, it will listen to what you're saying, because I had also, after I had, you know, struck out on that, I snoozed, I lose. I had been looking, and I saw an ad for a e-bike 26 by 4 inch tire, and it looked really familiar. So I got to thinking, and I saw an ad for a e-bike that I actually was going to purchase as my very first e-bike. The absolute first e-bike I ever owned. I was going to own, and I tried to buy it, but for some reason, I don't know if it's because it was in China or whatever, but my debit card did not like the fact that I was trying to buy that bike, so I gave up on it. And it's a nice house. It's a really nice house up here. But yeah, back to my e-bike story. So I lost on that, and I saw the ad for the bike, so I'll just go ahead and give you the information here. So the bike is a Favato Flurry 2.0, and I was looking online, and it's not like a super expensive bike. So I came to the conclusion that, you know what, I might as well spend $160, $170 more than what I wanted to spend and get a bike that is brand new, you know, that may come with some type of warranty, even if it's not going to be the greatest bike ever. Maybe if it's a piece of crap bike. So I bought it, Favato Flurry. I bought it Monday. Delivery date is supposed to be the 15th, so probably this time next week I should have it. I would assume it may be quicker, I don't know, but that's the expected delivery date. It came in 3 colors. There was a white, which I'll go ahead and put a picture of right there. We'll do it up top. There was a cream color. The only way that I can think to describe it, and I'll put a picture up there as well, it's kind of like a caramel, like smoky, like a Werther's original that had maybe been sucked on a little bit. I don't know. That's probably not a very good description. And that one had some orange lettering of the name Favato on the side. I thought that looked pretty cool. The white one looked cool too, I'm not gonna lie. The white one had the silver Favato logo on the side. You probably saw that. But, you know, I've got the mock wheel. It's already white and silver, and I don't really want another one. It kind of looks very similar in color. So then I got to looking, and I noticed they had step-through e-bikes. Same e-bike, just in a step-through. The seat's a little bit different, which I'm getting a seat. And the handlebars were a little bit different than the step-through. The step-through, and this is kind of what interested me, is it has like cruiser handlebars that kind of sweep up like this. So, and it has an adjustable stem, which I thought was pretty cool too, because, you know, I'm super picky with my positioning of the handlebars. So I'm kind of curious to ride this step through that's got the handlebars that sweep through like this. And, but the step over bike had a really nice looking red, but it was a super light red. It almost gave me like orange vibes, like lighter than my t-shirt on. But I got a picture of that. I'll put that up here as well. And I really like the look at that, but it was sold out. So I went with the third option. So I wanted to step through. I'm not going to buy white. You know, the butterscotch Werther's original in the sun kind of looked cool, but I just couldn't really see myself riding that. So we went with this. Aqua blue. I think that's what I refer to that as. I like e-bikes that are colorful. I like e-bikes that stand out. So that one right there has been purchased. So that will be here, and I went ahead. Okay, I guess we are going to get on the gravel. Okay, but I went ahead and purchased all my standard accessories last night. So we've got another Gub phone holder coming, a Cloud9 seat, and I wanted to buy a bag because I buy a front bag for all my bikes. I put a battery pack in it, charges my phone at all times, but I could not find anything that was even remotely close to that blue color. And I was also going to look for yellow because the bike, the lettering on the sides says Favato in yellow, but it kind of looks like it's a pretty specific shade of yellow. So again, I couldn't find anything matching that. So I just went with the standard black one. It's the exact same one that I have on the Ranger right now, but instead of the dark blue, it's just a standard black. So I know the size of it. I know it'll work out fine. And I know right now we actually did find our way to the Cades Covered Bridge. I told you guys last year that I made a video out here, and just by the luck of navigational skills, we made it back out here. Let's take a look and see. They've raised a lot of money to kind of restore this bridge. And you know what? Let's see if we can like take almost an exact same thumbnail as we did last year. Gotta get them thumbnails in. Oh, let's make sure I get my hands out of the picture. All right, that should be good. Let's do another one right here. Let's not get ran over by the male person, and let's do one more right here. All right. So again, this bridge was built in like 1852, which is a couple years before I was born. And they put some rocks in front of it. Are you not allowed to? What? Okay, I guarantee you that's probably for cars. You know, it's cool that they can fix these bridges up, 200 years old almost, and still be usable. Pretty neat. Any graffiti on the walls here? Anybody love anybody? Here we go. TY, something Kim, Mike plus Carrie forever. Well, Mike and Carrie, hopefully you guys are still together. Oh, here's another one. 21025, Mandy loves Matt. Mandy and Matt, good luck, guys. Anybody else name on here, good luck. Hope you're together. Hope you have kids. Or if you don't want kids, hope you don't have kids, have pets. Yeah, I am impressed. They have definitely put the money to good use. I need to go back and find that video and just kind of take a look at it and see what it looked like a year ago. So kudos, good job. So here's what I was kind of talking about earlier. Like, you guys can see here, they got all kinds of stuff all over their land. Barns, fences, and then they're in a trailer. So it's like definitely not unheard of for people, you know, maybe they live in that small house too, I don't know. But definitely a lot of, you can see some tractors and stuff back there. Those things are not cheap. And then if you look over to the right here, like I can't even begin to imagine how much money is spent on those two tractors, and then the tractor out in the land right there. Blows my mind. Cook Family Show cattle. Oh, we got some horsies. Hi, guys. Hi. Hi, good horses. You know what? I literally could have stopped and pet those horses. As soon as I started ticking at them, they turned right around and was ready for love. You know what? Let's go ahead and make sure the GoPro battery is still on. Now that I think about it. 1%, wow. So by the sheer coincidence of luck, I saw my time. I'm at 54 minutes, and I got to thinking how long my battery lasts on the GoPro, and I stopped and checked it, and I was at 1%, so wow. Went ahead and replaced the battery in the GoPro, so we got a brand new battery in the GoPro. I went ahead and restarted the DJI mic as well. So we can continue on this lovely adventure here on the HeyBike Ranger. We're at 16.5 per Strava, 17.9 per the HeyBike. So I wonder if the difference has something to do with the wheel setting on the bike. I'm not entirely for sure. I don't know why they'd be so off when they were started at the same time, but oh well, it is what it is. We may have to once we're done, we may have to kind of meet somewhere in the middle to get a better idea. All right, so now that I'm off of a supersonic speed, I've made it back into town. And there's my brother right here in his truck. I'm gonna run the stop sign just to run right through him. Oh, hey, that's his girlfriend. All right, we're back into town. So that was 21 miles per Strava, 23.3 per the bike. But we're back into town here. Wind to our back. Pedal assist 4, just keeping it at about 22 miles an hour. Been at this for 1 hour and 12 minutes. And you know what? This is a 30 mile per hour road. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more leg, put it in pedal assist 5, and we're gonna get a stop light, which is great. Or red light, I should say. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a little turn here. So that's gonna get us off of the main road, back to the beautiful courthouse. All right, 4:05 right now, so the kids are out of school. I don't know what's going on at the park today, but we'll ride by it. I'm assuming there's probably practices or stuff going on. Softball season starts, the games next week, and I think the baseball also starts next week, so about that time of year. And they will, especially the girls, they've got the town league, but then they've got like all-star teams and a middle school team, and I think the middle school team has already started playing like maybe 3 weeks ago. So softball will literally be going on from April to probably late September between the 3 different leagues they have, the age ranges, and then the additional stuff they do with like the middle school and the all-star teams and everything. One bar on the HeyBike and pedal assist 3. Now I've got it in 3, keeping it, you know, let's drop it down to 2 now. We're going about a 17, 18. Let's drop it down to like, 15, 16. And by God, there's no one at the softball fields yet. It must be too early. Definitely people at the park though. Sorry, I've never got to use that. I just wanted to use it. But we'll see how that goes with that. Great way to spend a Thursday. Definitely when it's a day off of work Thursday. And I was excited because, I'm not the type to just like sit and just lay on a couch if I have a day off. So I'm excited I was able to get quite a few things accomplished. This morning, I did sleep in a little bit, praise baby Jesus, got a couple extra hours of sleep. And you know what? We may be winding down. I definitely think we're winding down here. Again, pedal assist 3 now. Okay. Maybe I'm just not smart. I forgot. I was trying to use the throttle a little bit and I had it in 2 and it would only go a certain speed. I thought it was dying down, but nope. I forgot the thumb throttle on the HeyBike is tied to the pedal assist level. So now we're back up and rock and rolling now. Oh, and I should say also, I probably should have said this at the very beginning because I doubt anyone has watched this far. But obviously your range depends on your pedal assist level, how much throttle you're using, and of course your weight. So when they say 55 miles, I'm going to assume that's probably using a very low pedal assist, if not pedal assist 1, and probably somebody on perfect roads. And I may have mentioned that, but you know, they're probably talking about somebody that weighs 125, 130 pounds. You know, as of today, this morning, 183 pounds. So, you know, a heavier rider, but not, you know, the bike can handle 400 pounds. So, you know, not anything stressing a bike out at 183 pounds, but that 55 miles is probably not reflecting somebody my size. Got a range test going on. All right, hold on. Talk to him real quick. Got me a range test going on right now. Oh yeah, cool, man. Yep, we'll have fun. All right, so back to the, let's see where we're at here. So 1 bar left, 24.4 on the app, Strava, 27 on the dot on the bike itself. See if we can squeeze another 3 miles out of this. I bet we can. I will edit this when I get home, have this uploaded tonight, and then we can get a real everyday use range of a regular guy riding a e-bike regularly in town, you know, the hills, against the wind, going downhill, different pedal assist levels, a little throttle, not a lot of throttle, but I think this is pretty accurate to, you know, the average guy riding this e-bike. You know, maybe some people may throttle a little bit more. I know some people just ride these to throttle, which to each their own. I don't know if I really understand that, because to me it's like, well, just get a scooter, you know, if you don't want to pedal at all. Now, if you can't pedal, which I have seen a few people on here on YouTube that ride e-bikes and they throttle because, you know, they've had surgeries or something, or they're not able to, that's a completely different story. But being able to get a little bit of exercise and also get out on an e-bike and have fun, I think is one of the best things about these e-bikes. You know, that, and you look cool to wild women. That hasn't been proven on social media, in studies, or in my personal life, but I'm gonna say you do look cool to women, because it tells women, well, first it tells them that maybe you got like a DUI or a suspended license, so that's not very good. But it tells women that you like to get out in nature, you know? You got the heart of a kid, but also, hey, he must have a job, you know, those e-bikes are expensive. You know, it gives them a little hope, you know, and then you gotta then you gotta show them how to ride it, and then hopefully it's a love connection, you know, maybe it results in a family, babies, 2.5 dogs, a white picket fence, a mother-in-law that you really don't like, but deep down you love her, you just won't admit it. So yeah, it's a great thing about e-bikes. I'm not sure I've ever known anyone that's ridden an e-bike that has specifically said, okay, no, I don't like it. You know, get me on a regular bike, or no, I don't like it, get me on a moped, or you know, unless you're like a member of Hell's Angels and you've been around Harleys since 1936, you know, and you've killed like 6 people, then maybe that's gonna ruin your street cred a little bit. But I don't think most of us will have to worry about that. This HeyBike is going and going and going. Pretty close to 30 miles so far ridden today per the bike, and 26.10. So it is definitely getting a wider distance between the bike and Strava. Thank you. But we've got to get through this range test first, because we are an hour and 37 minutes into it. My butt, rear end, what do they call it? Glute? I can't even think of the word. Oh, this is going to be a test. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make it up this hill, guys. Oh my God. This is a pretty big hill, and 1 bar, pedal assist 5, yeah, we're not gonna make it up, so we're gonna go back down. We'll just go back through the same trail we just did. You know what? No, let's not do that. Let's do this. Let's go this way. So this will be the future trail. Instead of turning like I did, I'll be able to continue on this path. And it will eventually connect into the rest of the trail that is currently under construction. Hi, buddy. He looks vicious. See if we can make it up this hill on this. I don't know, we may have to pedal. Yeah, you can tell the battery is very low. Look at this. Trying to throttle up this. I don't think it's gonna make it. Let's go to a lower gear and let's just use the old man power like they did in the 1950s. We'll get it up ourselves. All right, we are blinking now. We may have been blinking because I was in pedal assist 5 trying to get up that hill, but let's see what we can do. We are blinking, battery at 31.4 miles. 31.9. We're so close. I'm gonna say, I'm about to call it. Still 31.9. $31.9, 32. All right, we're gonna call it. All right, guys, well, as you can see, I am now walking my bike because this is a big hill and I'm not even gonna try it. So we'll say 31 miles, decent. I factored in probably 30-ish. HeyBike says 55. That's with ideal conditions, probably a super light rider, and not Stonebraker does stuff. So, and as always, appreciate you guys spending your time helping me waste my time, and I'll see you in the next one.